everyone, I'm here with a bit of an announcement. I am going to be doing Witch School again on my Patreon. I'm going to start in January and I'm going to leave enrollment up for the month of January if you want to join, and then I'm going to close it because I want to follow through all the way to the end of the year. As you know, I was talking about earlier that I'm going to be focusing on what I call working class witchcraft, which is witchcraft that is affordable and does not take a lot of time because, let's face it, a lot of us don't have money, don't have a lot of money. And, if you have kids and a job and all this other stuff, you don't have a lot of time either. So big ceremonial fancy things are probably not up your alley. But if you're looking at developing a spiritual practice that works for you, then this is what I want to help people to achieve. So it's not denominational. I'm going to talk about, some of the things I believe, but always take what works for you and leave the rest. No one's going to, be 100% what you agree with all the time, including myself. We're all human. But I want to give you some basic practices that you can do that will help you make and design your own practice. And practices always evolve, so it's not like you're going to have something set in stone all the time. And I want to help you to develop that and to know that it's okay to change things, and it's okay to change as you evolve, because there are times where you're going to be focused on one thing more than the other. There's times where you're going to have more time and less time. There's times where you're going to have more resources and less resources. And so you want a practice that is able to expand or contract as you need to, and that works for you and still supports you in a spiritual and a meaningful way, which is totally what my goal is. So all denominations are welcome. So whether you're a Christian witch or you are a Celtic witch or an atheist witch even, you're welcome here, because this is all about developing a practice, and witchcraft is a practice. So I have themes for each month. What we're going to start with is in January, we're going to be talking about basic practices, things like daily devotions, things like card draws, building an altar, in very non-intimidating, easy ways, things that don't take a ton of time, that will support you in your practice as you go through. February, we're going to talk about energy work. We're going to talk about meditation that doesn't take all day. We're going to talk about quickly aligning your chakras. All these energy workings you can do in, a short amount of time, but are still really effective. March, we're going to talk about working with deity, however you see that. So whether you work with the god and the goddess or the universe, or you work with Christ consciousness or whatever, really developing that relationship with divinity and exploring, if you don't know, where to look, how to find these things, how to grow and evolve with that. In April, we're going to talk about working with the elements, so working with earth, air, fire, water, and spirit, how you can do that. May is going to be about working with the moon cycles. June is about the wheel of the year. So we're going to talk about the traditional wheel of the year, but we're also going to talk about developing your own wheel of the year, developing one that works for you and works in the area that you live in, because we don't all live in Northern Europe. And then in July, we're going to talk about how to make spells, how to design ritual, how to, design ritual that doesn't take forever, that doesn't, require all these ingredients and things, but how to design it in a meaningful way for you. August, we're going to focus on what I call fire magic, which is candle magic and color magic. September is about air magic, which is petitions and sigils and symbols. So writing magic, basically. October is water magic, which is mirrors and jar magic. And then November and December, earth magic. November, we're going to focus on crystals. We're going to focus on crystals, how to use crystals, crystal grids, talismans, that kind of thing. And then earth, we're going to talk about herbs. And these are not I'm not a herbalist. We're not talking about, medicine. We're talking about, in witchcraft, using the herbs you find in your cupboard that are easy and accessible in things like moja bags and poppets and that kind of things. All of this stuff is supposed to be just very non-time consuming, easy and accessible, affordable, all of that, but still supports you and still gives you a meaningful practice where you don't have to have all of the fancy things. I know I watch a lot of other YouTubers, and some of them receive, these fancy subscription boxes and things, and that's great. No shade to them. They're awesome, but we can't all afford all of those things. And I think sometimes we look at things like Instagram and Pinterest and we see these beautiful setups and we think that that's what our practice has to look like, it's important to remember that those things are all set up for a photograph and they are not always a working and living practice. And what we are looking at developing is a working and living practice, not something that we're posting on Instagram to look aesthetically pleasing. And nothing wrong with that. I mean, I like to look at pretty pictures too, right? But we want something that's meaningful and workable and real, and not something that is just, you know, there to get some likes. So that's the goal of this year. So if you want to join, you can check it out on the Patreon. Those who are part of the Witch School level also are part of the Coven. And the Coven, I do, again, easy, affordable, non-time consuming spells. The Coven, we have new moon and full moon spells, sometimes dark moon spells, or sometimes a meditation. I also do an alignment reading every month as well. We've got a Facebook group where you can like talk to others, and I'm going to do some live chats as well and answer questions, that kind of thing. And also on my Patreon, we do weekly tarot scopes and astrology so you can plan your week. So I wanted to kind of put it all together so that you kind of get the most bang for your buck and you're getting all of the goodies for Witch School so that you can feel supported on your journey. So if you want to check it out, it's in the Patreon below. If you have any questions, of course, put in the comments, or you can, you know, message me on Facebook or Instagram. Be happy to answer. Thank you again so much to all of you who watch, all of you who support me. I appreciate it so much. If you're not interested in the Witch School, I'm still going to be doing videos here on YouTube where I am going to be showing you some working class witchcraft spells as well. So you can stay tuned for that if you're not interested in the whole Patreon thing, as well as showing you just stuff like things you can find in your cupboard, free resources you can find on the internet. All that kind of stuff. I want to help people no matter what level you're at, or what affordability you have, to be able to like have a practice, because there's no reason you shouldn't be able to do those things. So if you have any questions that you want me to answer for that series here on YouTube, you can put them down below in the comment box, because I would be happy to answer them as videos. So put them down below, because I'm also looking at doing that as well, is just answering people's questions. No question is too silly. It's okay. Yes. So thank you so much for watching. And as always, peace and love.